The locals here in Newfoundland love their GMCs, but for decades the trucks were little more than rebadged Chevrolets. For the past few years, GMC and Chevy have been making concerted efforts to differentiate their products. We're here with the new 2019 GMC Sierra to see how different the two trucks really are. We're driving along the roads in foggy Newfoundland in the new 2019 GMC Sierra. Now this is the first redesign for the Sierra in several years. In the past, the trucks have been little more than reskinned versions of each other, but they're doing a lot with the Sierra with features and styling to move the truck more upmarket. We're driving the range-topping Sierra Denali. Denali makes up nearly a third of all GMC sales. GMC sales themselves have doubled in the past 8 years. The Sierra is going to be available with 3 powertrains, a 5.3-liter V8, a 6.2-liter V8, and a 3-liter turbo diesel. While the 3-liter turbo diesel is all new, the 5.3 and 6.2-liter V8s are updated versions of engines in the outgoing Sierra. This truck is fitted with the 6.2-liter V8. It makes 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. Power is sent to all 4 wheels through a 10-speed automatic. Now this 10-speed has been co-developed with Ford. You can find it in the Camaro, the Mustang, and of course the F-150. So this 6.2-liter is a sweet little engine. I don't think it sounds quite as good as the V8 does in the Camaro or the Corvette, but I definitely like it better than the EcoBoost options in the F-150. Thanks to the use of lighter weight materials, cylinder deactivation, and the 10-speed auto, this engine gets 15 mpg city, 20 mpg highway, but it'll cost you $2,500 more than the standard 5.3-liter V8. You are moving a lot of mass, but there's plenty of torque to compensate. Power comes on low and smooth, unlike this truck's ride. Despite active management, it's pretty rough over these coastal roads. The ride quality is not helped with the optional 22s on this truck, but even the standard Denali comes with 20s. Now, the engines and transmissions are shared with the Silverado, but where the Sierra really differentiates itself is the exterior styling. I think this is the best looking GMC in years, though the grille on the SLT and Denali is a little brash for my taste. That said, I am a big fan of the styling on the AT4. It's a little tougher, a little more rugged, and it has a lot less chrome than the other models. Even from a distance, you won't confuse the Sierra for the Silverado. Even the truck's profile, that used to be identical to the Silverado, features a different door and wheel well design. And while I'm still not a fan of the Silverado's questionable design, I do like where GMC's gone with the Sierra. While the exterior does look different, unfortunately the interior is much the same as the Silverado. The materials look and feel a lot nicer, but the design still features odd shapes and some noticeable panel gaps. Still, there are plenty of buttons and knobs, and they're all pretty easy to access and read. There's power down here, and there's USB and USB-C outlets both on the center stack and in the console. For the most part, the seats are pretty comfortable, though I do wish the bolsters were a little more aggressive. That said, it is hard to separate the seat's comfort from the poor ride quality. Like any truck in this segment, space is plentiful, especially in the rear. Visibility is good too, thanks to the elevated ride height and the optional rear camera mirror, though it does take your eyes a bit of time to adjust. In addition to styling, GM is giving the Sierra and Silverado unique features that are intended to further separate the two trucks. The most notable feature is GMC's MultiPro tailgate. The Silverado, meanwhile, gets a power-assisted tailgate to both raise and lower. The MultiPro tailgate is standard on the SLT, AT4, and Denali trims. This is what GMC is calling the MultiPro tailgate. Like the Silverado, you do get power down. Unlike the Silverado, you do have to lift it back up manually. But there are a few tricks in the sleeve. First off, like I said, it can go down. There's also a cutout here, so you can get better access to the bed. This flips down, and there's a step up to 375 pounds. You can lower the top part, so it can work kind of like a workstation, you know, it's about high enough for a laptop or something. You can lift that up, get distance there, or have a bed extender. Pretty neat, though it's not as like easy to use the first few times. Not all of the parts work in tandem with each other. Like now, you can lower it here, but if you already had this down, you can't lower the rest of the tailgate. Despite finally looking different on the surface, the Silverado and the Sierra still have the same bones underneath. GMC has been making an effort to market their products as more upscale. In fact, the average transaction price of a Denali badge vehicle is higher than that of Mercedes-Benz, BMW, and Audi. Now, I wouldn't go so far as to say it's as luxurious as the Germans, but it definitely does feel more premium than the Silverado. Between the two, I'd go with the GMC.